Are you a new RV owner who's ready to hit the open road, but setting up your new rig has you feeling like you're going to tackle Mount Everest? Well, fear not, my friends, because I'm going to walk you through step by step on exactly how it's done. From backing in your rig to leveling the thing to setting up connections, we got you covered. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you'll stay up to date with all the RV maintenance tips, tricks, campground adventures, and camping reviews. You certainly don't want to miss it. All right, guys, step number one. You guys are all checked in, you're excited, you're booked, you're packed, and now you get to your site and realize you got to back this thing in. Now, the first thing you guys want to do is certainly not panic or get upset. We got a few simple steps that you guys follow that's going to make this process so much easier. The first thing we like to do is just a drive-by of the site. This is going to help you determine what, if any, obstacles are in your way. You want to be on the lookout for tree branches, limbs hanging down, maybe your picnic tables on your site. You want to make sure you know where your electrical box is, where your fire pit is. Now, when you guys do approach your site, it's best to stay in the opposite lane away from it and then swing towards and back out. That way your trailer is going to be facing most likely in the right direction of however your site is angled, and it's going to make this step so much easier for you guys. Keep in mind the other tip of putting your hand at the bottom of the wheel, and then whichever way you turn your hand or your steering wheel is the direction that your trailer is going to turn. Now use a spotter if you guys can, and keep in mind to make sure that you guys have a clear line of communication, either windows down, phones on speaker, or maybe even some walkie-talkies we've seen people use. And if all else fails, keep in mind most RV parks offer a pull-through site, so that shouldn't be an issue at all. Now that we're backed in and before you guys can unhook, it's time for step number 2, which is leveling the rig side to side. We like to carry one of these 2-foot levels because, let's face it, the bubble level that's on the RV is about as accurate as balancing a beach ball on your finger in the middle of a windstorm. They're just not going to give you a good reading. I can already tell that we're off probably about 3/4 of an inch on the driver's side of the rig here. But again, we just lay the level on the floor here, and that way you're going to get way more of an accurate reading. So we need to come up about 3/4 of an inch on the driver's side. Let me get the boards out and we'll get that situated. Now we just like to use a 2x6 or a 2x8 to level ours. I'm not a big fan of those snap together blocks, but if that's what you have, they're certainly going to work for you, no doubt. I don't like how you have to have numerous ones to raise it up an inch or two. These boards are cheap, they've lasted forever, and if you're on a situation where you have a little bit of an incline or a hill, you're going to get much more of a level area using a longer board than you are with a couple snap together blocks. Let me grab this board here, get it on the other side, and then we're going to go ahead and pull the truck forward until we're centered up on it right in the middle. And I just like to kind of keep an eye on my, oh, there's the wifey calling. I just like to keep an eye on my mirror until we're pulled right up on it. Just like so. Now that we're level on side to side, it's time to move on to step 3, which is to chalk your tires to prevent your trailer from rolling back and forth. We like to just use these big, thick rubber wheel chalks. They're so heavy duty, they're cheap, they last forever, and they really do a great job with helping the trailer rock back and forth when you're inside. You can already tell that the trailer is pointing uphill, so we're only going to need one behind each tire on each side. Step number 4, it is now time to unhook your rig. Now, a couple things to keep in mind here. Everybody's hitch is going to be different, number 1. And if you have any questions about our weight distribution hitch that we use, leave it down in the comments down below. We'll be happy to answer them for you. I know we've gotten a lot in the past. The other thing that you guys want to keep in mind is the less distance that your tongue jack is extended, the more stable your camper is going to be. We like to just use one of these cheap blocks here. Now, don't mind my jack. I think it's on its last life finally. It sounds awful. But what we do is set a stabilizer block down here, get this thing extended, and then start to lift it up. Now that we've raised it up a little bit, we want to go ahead and pull our pin out of our hitch release and get that set back. And what we're doing by lifting everything up is actually taking the tension off our rods here so that they come out without any issue. Now that we got a little tension on them, I like to go ahead and pull these pins. Now mine are a little bit bent up, but still in working order. Let's jump over here to the other side. Bear with me here. And again, we're just pulling the pin release, lifting this, and I like to keep everything right up here. That way when I go to hook up, I know where everything is. I'm not searching around for where these pins went to. Once you got your pins pulled, go ahead and lift the jack off of the hitch. You're going to feel it pop a little bit. You're going to see it here in just a second. Now, if you guys notice, one thing I haven't done, and I'm very adamant about this, is unhook my safety chains, and I don't like to do that until the last step, just to make sure if this thing rolls backwards at all, it's still attached to the truck and it's going to stop it. Now that we are unhitched, I go ahead and pull the plug and kind of wrap everything up here to keep it nice. Go ahead and pull your safety chains as well, now that we know the camper's not going to bounce back and forth. And we should be good, if I can get this off, to be able to just bump the truck forward enough so the trailer's sitting here on its own. Now that the camper is unhooked from the tow vehicle here, it's time to level it front to back. Now once again for this, we use the 2-foot level and just set it on the floor inside. And I can already see, I know it's probably hard for you guys, but we got to come down a good inch and a half in the front. In order to do that, we're just going to use our jack that is located on the front. Now, something to keep in mind is we upgraded to this power jack, which makes a huge difference as far as raising this thing up and down. You don't have to sit here and crank and crank and crank. And they're cheap. You can get them at Harbor Freight. We didn't pay a lot of money for this. I think this one was like 98 bucks. So we're probably only, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 inches off that block, which is certainly going to help with the stabilization on the front of these Colemans. I know that when we purchased ours, they don't even come with front jacks, which we have upgraded, as you guys can see. And again, that video is down in the link below for you guys to check out. Number 6, now that we are level side to side and front to back, it's time to get your stabilizer jacks down. And again, we just use these blocks that we picked up out of a firewood bundle. They're cheap, they're easy, they store away really nice in the back of the truck. We don't have to worry about how many we got to snap together, things like that. And we've used these for 5 or 6 years now without replacing them, so they've really held up well. Now we just kind of guesstimate where these blocks need to be, and let me go ahead and get these front ones cranked down, and then we'll move around to all 4 corners and get all of them set for you guys. Boy, this one's making a little bit of noise. Let me go grab a little bit of lube here and spray that one down, see if we can quiet it down and not make the neighbors so mad. Let's give her a little shot of the grease here. Now, I'm sure you guys can see, or I don't know if you can, but we have had a mishap. We tried to maybe jack this up a little bit too much, put a little too much weight on the jack, and voila, that's what you get. Thankfully, we caught it in time. The jack still works fine and saved us a little bit of money from replacing it. That is about 1,000 times better. So, like I said, let me get all these cranked down. I'll probably be here about an hour or so. And then we'll move on to step number 7. Now that we're all unhooked, level, and stabilized, it's time to either hook up your sewer hose or your water connections. Now, we happen to be camping at this beautiful state park here in New York called Sampson State Park. And unfortunately, since they do not have full hookups. There's a video down below that's going to show you guys everything that you're going to need in order to set your sewer hoses and water hoses up for the first time. So make sure you check that out down in the description below. For today, they just offer a brand new water filling station, I guess, but didn't go so well. It looks like it may need a little bit more work. I know in the video it looks like we're missing an O-ring, but I promise you we're not. And maybe they just need to re-engineer things a little bit. Step number 7 or 8 or 9, I don't know where we're at, but next step we'll just say, time to get your electrical hooked up. Now unfortunately we are again at Sampson State Park, which is notorious for setting your electric box on the other side of your site. It is what it is. Let's make the best of the situation and get this hooked up. Anyway, this is pretty self-explanatory. Just pull your electrical cord out, or maybe you have one that's removable, and plug it in here. And in our case, we just got to run it 6.5 miles over to the electrical box here, and we should be good to go. Now keep in mind, when you guys are plugging into your converter or power surge, I guess is what I'm looking for. When you guys are plugging into that, make sure that the breakers are flipped, everything in the camper is off, and then once you're plugged in, flip the breakers back on. You should be good to go. And finally, folks, set up your site like a little piece of paradise. Fly those flags, set up your cornhole boards, set up the barbecue, crack a cold one, and enjoy your weekend. Setting up your trailer on your site is a piece of cake with a little bit of patience and practice. Got our full video library down below in the description, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button while you're there. We appreciate you guys watching, and we will catch you next week.